Let's start with this example from science. If the ratio between the number of hydrogen atoms to oxygen atoms in water molecule is 2 to 1, what does this one mean? 2 to 1, it means we have 2 hydrogen for every 1 oxygen. Like this, we have 2 hydrogen with 1 oxygen. So how many atoms of each of them are there in a drop of water containing 1,200,000 atoms? So we need to add both of them, as for 1 molecule including 2 hydrogen with 1 oxygen, so total there are 3 in 1 molecule. So if we add them, we found they are for sure 3. If we have this number of atoms, so we need to take this number divided by 3. We found this is number of atoms for each group. Now let's take this number, multiply it by 1 for oxygen and multiply it by 2 for the hydrogen. By the way, we have a better way for solving this question, an easier way for solving this question. Let's solve it with the way I'm talking about. Here we have this map. Number of hydrogen or oxygen at the beginning. We can start with any one. Oxygen, hydrogen, and total. As we said, we have 1 oxygen with 2 hydrogen, and then we have total of 3 for each molecule. If we have 1,200,000 total, this amount not for oxygen only or hydrogen only. This is the total amount of molecules. So it must be here with the total. Now let's start to solve to find oxygen and hydrogen. You can name this unknown as X, and you can name this unknown as Y. By the way, to understand this part in a better way, if you have 1 oxygen and 1 or 2 hydrogen and the total is 3, that means what if you have this amount, how many oxygen in it and the hydrogen? Let's use the proportional and especially the cross multiplication property. Let's use the cross multiplication property in this part. You can write this part as a proportional. So we have like 2 over y equal to 3 over this number. And you can use cross multiplication. We have a new trick in cross multiplication now, in this part. You can multiply this 2 by this number, and then you can multiply 3 by y. But a better way, you can multiply this number by this one and then divide 3. When you have 2 numbers facing each other, you multiply them, and the number facing the unknown by dividing. Let's see this. So we have, let's start with 1. This number times 1 divide 3. This is for the oxygen. Let's go to hydrogen. This number multiply 2 divide by 3 also. And here we have the number of atoms for hydrogen in this amount and the number of atoms of the oxygen in this amount. So let's summarize this. For example, if you have 3 atoms, you have 1 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. What if you have this number of atoms? You will have this number of oxygen atoms and this number of hydrogen atoms. You can use the way of ratio and proportional and the cross multiplication to find these answers. Let's go to the next question. If a man wants to distribute 3,600 between 2 people in the ratio 3 to 2, what would be the share of each one? Take care here. There is a common mistake many students drop in it. Some people say if this the amount and we need to share this amount between 2 people, we can simply make 3,600 divided 2. No, I'm sorry, this is wrong. Why? If you take this amount, divide by 2, it means you distribute this amount equally. and that means both of them will take the same. And this question, no, he said a ratio. It means a ratio of 3 to 2, which means they will not take the same amount. One of them will take greater than the other one. So let's start solving this question. Here we will find the first person, the second person, and then the total. The first person, as we said, will take 3. Second person will take 2. So totally, they will take 5. But if the amount is 5, so it's okay. This person will take 2, this person will take 3. And you can see they are not equal. What if the total that will be distributed between both of them is 3,600, like the question said? How I can find the amount for the first person and the second person? As we said before, you can use cross multiplication here. The new idea of cross multiplication. To find this amount, you multiply this number by 2 divided 5 without writing the proportional. You don't need to write 2 over unknown equal 5 over this. You don't need it now. You just cross multiply to find this answer. So 3,600 times 2 divided 5. This is for the second person. The first person, you will take this times 3 divided 5. I would prefer to start with the second person first, or the person or the amount which is being here, so you can find an easy way to multiply and divide before you go for the furthest one. So here for the first person, here for the second person, as we said, 3,600 times 2 divided 5, and 3,000 times 3 divided 5. And you can see they are not equal. They didn't take the same amount of money. That's why 3,600 not being divided by 2.
تقدر تتابع كل دروسك على تطبيق مدرستنا بلس. مدرستنا، المستقبل يبدأ الآن.